Amira didn't know how she got home. The crowd outside the court had screamed and insulted her. Some even spat. Others took pictures, like she was some kind of criminal celebrity. Now, she was inside the house alone, empty. Silent. She dropped her bag and sank into the chair, still shaking. Her eyes were swollen. Her throat burned, her body was numb. But something at the front door caught her attention. An envelope. Plain. White. No name. Just there, like it had been dropped quietly, carefully. Her hands trembled as she picked it up and opened it. Inside was a folded sheet of paper. The handwriting was unfamiliar. It said, "I warned you not to touch what was never yours." Amira froze. Her heart skipped. She read it again. Then again. She rushed to the window. No one in sight. Not even a car passing. The whole street was quiet, but the kind of quiet that makes your skin crawl. She locked the door and backed away slowly. Then she saw it. On the table. A small black leather book. She didn't own a black leather book. But it was sitting right there. Like it had been waiting for her. She picked it up with shaky hands. Opened it to the first page. Her own name was written there. In her own handwriting. Amira Owolabi. Private diary. She frowned. I've never seen this before. She flipped through the pages, random scribbles, thoughts, memories. All things she could have written. But then, she got to the last page. And that's when her whole body went cold. It read, "I'm tired of pretending. He doesn't love me anymore. But if I can't have him, no one will." It was her handwriting. Every letter. Every curve. Every dot. But she didn't write that. She didn't. No, this isn't mine," she whispered, dropping the book like it burned her fingers. She backed away, heart racing. What's going on? What is happening to me? She started pacing the living room like a madwoman. Was she losing her mind? Had she actually written it and forgotten? Was it trauma? Or was someone playing with her head? She ran to the kitchen, splashed water on her face, then stared into the mirror above the sink. Her reflection looked like a stranger. Messy hair. Red eyes. Bruised lips from all the biting. Pale skin. Her voice shook. Am I going crazy? And then, just as she turned around, the living room light flickered. Once, twice, then darkness, total silence. Until her phone lit up, a text message. From a private number. It read, "You don't remember writing it. Good. That means it's working." Amira hadn't opened her curtains in days. The light irritated her. The air outside mocked her. Her name was now a joke on blogs, gossip pages, and even radio stations. Wife poisons husband, blames cousin. She didn't eat. Didn't sleep. Just sat there, staring at the wall like it owed her answers. Then, knock knock. Not loud. Not forceful. Just enough to cut through the silence in her head. She froze. No one had come to her door since the court hearing. Another knock. She stood, slowly. Her heart started to race. Peeking through the curtain, she saw a man in a black hoodie. Not police, not a reporter. Just a man. She opened the door just slightly. Yes. He looked up, his face partly hidden. Are you Amira Owolabi? She paused. Who's asking? My name is Obiora. He glanced around, then lowered his voice. I know what happened to your husband wasn't your fault. She narrowed her eyes. How do you know that? Because I used to work for them, he said. And I have proof. Amira's fingers tightened on the door. You need to leave. If you shut this door, you'll never know the truth. Not about Tunde. Not about Miriam. Not even about yourself. He handed her a flash drive. What's this? She asked. CCTV footage, the night Tunde collapsed. From the Owolabi house. Her blood ran cold. I thought the cameras weren't working that night. That's what they wanted you to think. He stepped back. Watch it. And keep your phone close. You'll need help soon. Before she could say another word, he walked away. Amira locked the door, pulled the curtains, and shoved the USB into her laptop. A file popped up. Just one video. No name. No date. She pressed play. The living room appeared. Empty at first. Then Tunde walked in, holding a glass of wine. He looked around, calm, relaxed. Then Miriam entered. Amira leaned forward. They were talking. Laughing. He handed her the glass. She took a sip, then reached into her bag and dropped something inside it. A pill. Powder, Amira couldn't tell. Then it happened. Tunde suddenly clutched his chest, staggered, and dropped to the floor. Miriam didn't scream. She didn't call for help. She just, then calmly picked up her bag and walked out. Amira slammed the laptop shut, her breath shaky. She felt like throwing up. Her cousin drugged her husband. And she was the one blamed. Her fingers trembled as she picked up her phone. But it buzzed before she could dial. Unknown number. One message, now you see. But what are you going to do about it? Tears filled her eyes. Not because she was afraid. But because she had just realized, this wasn't about pain anymore. It was war. Amira didn't tell anyone she was going back to the mansion. Not her lawyer. Not the neighbors. Not even her mother, who hadn't called her once since the arrest. She just wanted to pick her things and disappear. Maybe travel. Maybe vanish. Maybe finally rest. The Owolabi mansion looked even colder than she remembered. The gate creaked open like it, too, was tired of holding secrets. She walked in quietly, her footsteps echoing on the marble floor. The place smelled of polished wood and hidden lies. No one was home. She moved quickly to the bedroom she once shared with Tund. Her clothes were still there, thrown carelessly into bags by whoever had packed them. She stuffed a few personal things into her backpack, her necklace, her old Bible, a framed picture of her late father. Then, she paused. There was a door at the end of the hallway. One she had always been told was a storeroom. It was always locked. Always. But today, as she walked past, she noticed the door was slightly open. Amira's heart skipped. She looked around. Silence. She pushed it gently. It creaked open, revealing a dark, narrow staircase leading down. Something inside her said, "Leave it." But curiosity whispered, "Check." She followed the whisper. The air grew colder with every step. The walls were lined with old carvings, markings she didn't understand. She pulled out her phone and turned on the flashlight. At the bottom of the stairs was a heavy wooden door. She turned the knob. Locked. But then she noticed, hanging from a rusty nail, an old key. She tried it. Click. The door opened. What she saw made her drop her phone. It was a room, small, dusty, and filled with strange things. Red candles. Animal skulls. Symbols painted on the wall. A shrine covered with black cloth. But that wasn't what made her knees shake. It was the photos. Dozens of them. Of her. Amira. Pictures of her walking to school in university. Pictures of her at her old house with her father. Pictures of her standing at her father's funeral. Pictures taken years before she ever met Tund. She backed away, her mouth wide open. On a table beside the photos were journals. Handwritten, filled with names, dates, rituals. She opened one and saw, to bind her to the bloodline, she must first be broken. Her hands trembled. She flipped through more pages. Her name was written over and over. She is the chosen vessel. She will carry the curse. She must never leave. A noise upstairs. Footsteps. She froze. Someone else was in the house. She grabbed one journal and ran up the stairs, heart pounding. But when she got to the top, there was no one. The door to the room had shut. She tried to open it. Locked. She turned around. And there, on the wall, written in red, "You were never meant to live." Her scream echoed through the empty mansion.